Hello, my name's Andrew Godsoul. I've been doing some videos recently. Those of you who've seen them before will know the drill. I just do them in one take. I don't have a script. I just talk for a few minutes about what comes to mind and see how it goes. I'm not the most polished of performers. I've got Asperger's and I struggle a bit with this sort of thing. But I like to share my enthusiasms about things. I've done a couple of videos recently about my Beatles record collection. And I said at the end of the last one, which was Sergeant Pepper, that I'd come back at some point and talk about Magical Mystery Tour. So that's what I'm doing today. If I hold this up, this is my copy of Magical Mystery Tour LP. That was the front. That's the back, which I always thought was quite a nice picture, or multi-layered version of a picture, whatever you want to call it. And it's a nice gatefold, and I don't know if that's gonna show as well as it could, but basically what you've got there is I'll turn it around so I can see it. On one side there's the track listing and a little cartoon of the Beatles, and on the other side is the lyrics to the Magical Mystery Tour songs. Now, as I said in the Sergeant Pepper video, there's probably not a lot I can say about Sergeant Pepper that the world doesn't already know. It's probably the same with Magical Mystery Tour. Basically, it was a double EP in Britain of the 6 songs from the Magical Mystery Tour film, and then in the USA they put together those 6 songs plus 5 songs that have been also released in 1967 as singles, A and B sides, and made an LP out of them. So it's not something that the Beatles consciously created as an album. So I've also got the CD from the 2009 remaster set, which basically said it's like, I can't remember the exact phrase, something like a perfect companion to Sergeant Pepper. And in some ways, I think Magical Mystery Tour is almost like a sort of Sergeant Pepper Part 2, but without the band concept. So I say it's not exactly an album that was planned in that way. As for the film, well, everybody sort of slated the film. I saw it once on the telly. I think it was 1979. The BBC showed all of the Beatles films. I think it was 1979 or 1980. It was around that time, and I can't remember much about it, to be honest. But it was sort of like a surreal psychedelic bus trip around the north of England, from what I remember. It was, it was amusing. I'd like to see it again if it gets shown again, or might even buy the DVD one day. The songs, looking at them, obviously the title track's quite good. I'm the Walrus. I love it. I think it's one of John's greatest songs. Actually, I like your mother should know. It's like a little sing along, which probably would have gone quite nicely on Sergeant Pepper. And obviously, I'm the Walrus sort of references Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. I like the Fall on the Hill. Occasionally, I find myself singing some tune that I don't know what it is, and I realised the other day I've done it several times. It's Blue Jay Way. I've not actually been a great fan of that song, but for some reason it's obviously got into my consciousness. So da 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Oh, I probably won't do any more singing for now. On the other side, obviously you've got Strawberry Fields Forever and Penny Lane, which, well, I think they should have been on Sergeant Pepper, and I've talked about that before, and I'll probably talk about it another time. Hello Goodbye is a great song. All You Need Is Love is another one. If I sometimes think, if only they'd waited a few weeks after Sergeant Pepper, they could have put that on as well. And Baby You're a Rich Man, which was the B-side to All You Need Is Love, which is another a really good song. There's a couple of other songs which they recorded around that time, which eventually turned up on Yellow Submarine, which I'd like to mention. In fact, I've got this with me. I've not got the original Yellow Submarine album, which is half the Beatles songs and half an orchestral score by George Martin, but I have got this, which came out, was it 1999? which he's looking at the CD. Yes, it is. The Yellow Submarine. I'm not good with tongue twist. I can't even say tongue twisters now. The Yellow Submarine song track. Let's hold it up again, which is basically it excludes the orchestral stuff and puts in all the Beatles songs that appeared on the Yellow Submarine film, which came out in 1968, with the strange exception of A Day in the Life of Snippet, which was in the film but wasn't included on the record. It really is a great CD. Apart from the fact that Sergeant Pepper and With a Little Help from My Friends the Segways turn up in the middle of the CD, when it probably could have been quite nice at the start. Obviously, they led with Yellow Submarine. I digress again, as I do. But anyway, I think the reason for mentioning this is a couple of really great songs which were recorded in 1967 that appeared on either Sergeant Pepper or Magical Mystery Tour and really should have done. And those are the George Harrison ones. Only a Northern Song, which I've said before, I really do think should have been on Sergeant Pepper because it's like the dissident member of the band complaining that he's not getting as much attention as the rest, and the band's playing strange songs. I think it would be brilliant on Sergeant Pepper. And also, It's All Too Much. Now, definitely one of the great underrated Beatles songs. Recorded originally in the sort of space between Sergeant Pepper being finished and coming out, and then sort of shelved, and as they turned up on the Yellow Submarine film the following year. Brilliant song, 6.5 minutes, psychedelic rock, amazing. And again, to me, it's got this sort of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, Alice in Wonderland sort of feel to the lyrics about floating downstream and having cake and going to a party, and it should have been one of the two albums. So and the other two songs that were new Beatles songs on Yellow Submarine were John's Hey Bulldog, which again is a really good song and probably could have been used on the White Album in 1968, which is the year it was recorded, and then going back to 1967, All Together Now, which is a Paul song, just a sort of a fairly sort of throwaway sing-along. In a way, sorry, I nearly hiccuped. In a way, sort of, I suppose, similar to Your Mother Should Know, and sort of the sort of feel of Ringo's With a Little Help from My Friend, sort of Paul's When I'm 64. Again, it's something that, well, I've tried several times over the years to sort of create some sort of fantasy playlist of what the Beatles could have done, and I've come up with loads of them. And again, that's something I might return to in another video. So, having started with Magical Mystery Tour and said there's not a lot that can be said about it, the whole world doesn't know. Those of you who've actually watched through to the end of this video will now know that I've digressed onto Yellow Submarine and what the Beatles could have done in the sort of the fantasy world, where they took the great surrealism of Sergeant Pepper and Magical Mystery Tour and just changed things around a bit too much. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope that's been of interest to some people. And guess what? I might be back with the White Album sometime soon, hopefully. Okay, thank you. Goodbye.